I'm starting to record, eh?
Okay. So, welcome everyone to this meeting, virtual meeting, being the time the way things are. Glad to see everyone here today. As Dr. Duma said, we were supposed to have the meeting last week, but there were challenges with time, and I'm happy that everyone is available this week for the first meeting. I have to say that we come from more the private sector way of doing business. So yes, there seems to be some for guidance. Dr. Thomas, please feel free to guide us. I see on the agenda that we'll start the chair the comments, but would it be in order also to that everyone just says something, says hello, and introduce himself?
Yes, Chair. If you permit, people can introduce. And as I indicated earlier, I have all the time today. So okay, I'll start with myself. My name is David Otuoma. I'm in Nakosti, head of Department for Physical Industry and Energy Sciences. Our main role is to do policy advisories, and we also regulate research, science, and technology in Kenya. Thank you.
Okay, on my list here, I see Alex Ogacho. Alex, please.
Yeah, this is Alex. Alex is from the University of Nairobi Physics. I'm happy to go with you this morning.
Okay, and then our new guest, Dr. Amolo, please introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm very happy to join this team. Dr. Amola Ambole from the University of Nairobi, where I lecture and also do research. I belong both to the School of Design and the Institute of Climate Change and Adaptation. I believe I've been nominated to this team because of the research work we are doing on energy in Kenya, Uganda, and South Africa. Thank you. And I have with me 3 of my team members. They're researchers, both from the University of Nairobi and Stellenbosch. And I think it would be best if they introduce themselves after me. Douglas, Paris, and Krista. Thank you.
Please proceed, Douglas. We can't hear you, Krista or Douglas.
My name is Krista Nditi, and I'm a PhD researcher at Stellenbosch University in Cape Town, South Africa, and my background is in design. I'm currently working with Amolo on a project on gender mainstreaming for energy security in urban informal settlements. So I'm glad to be here.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Douglas Logedi Luhangala. I work with Dr. Amolo at in the GENS research, that's the energy research for gender energy solutions. I'm also a master's researcher at the University of Nairobi. I'm glad to be here.
You're welcome. And then I see Humphrey on the list.
Yes, my name is Humphrey Lumadede. I work as a research scientist, Kenya Industrial Research Development Institute. I work in the energy division. Thank you.
And then Patrick.
Okay, my name is Patrick. I work at Spadmo Energy. within Strathmore University.
And then I see Perus.
Are you talking about Paris, Njoroge?
Oh yes, it's Paris. Somewhere it's written here, Perus. Sorry, Paris.
Yes. So she says there's a problem with her microphone. So I'll just introduce her. She's also a PhD researcher in my team. She's going to be working with us at the Institute of Climate Change and Adaptation.
Okay, you're welcome. And lastly, I see Dr. Waiter. He says something.
All right. Good morning, team, and thank you, Chair, for the opportunity just to say hi to the team. And I'm based in the University of Nairobi, Department of Physics, and we do the solar training for solar installations, maintenance, all of that, and a field active installer and troubleshooter of solar systems. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Waiter. Anyone have left out?
Nupea.
Nupea, yes. Welcome, Nupea.
Thank you.
You introduce
Sorry,
yourself, please.
I introduce myself. Okay. My name is Joseph Duma. I'm an engineer at Nipea. Yeah, I've been part of this from the start. I'm actually an alternate of the director in charge of nuclear energy infrastructure development. Also responsible for energy sector research. That includes also solar power. So, sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. I think in the interest of time, we'll try and keep it at most until 11 o'clock, so we can move forward. So I will share a few slides. I don't know if Dr. Otomo, you can help me to pull them up. I'm not sure I know how to do it from this side. Actually, I can see it here. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes,
we can see it here. Yeah.
Yes, we can see it.
I'm somehow seeing Dr. Otomo's screen on my side. Written by,
Let me remove it. Sorry.
okay.
Yes. So how do I remove it? Douglas.
I think you stop sharing, isn't it?
Just stop sharing.
All right.
Just
How
click
do I
stop
say
sharing.
stop sharing?
Unaona hapo ka icon ka share. You can press it once more.
Okay. Oh, so that the arrow points down.
Yes, just click on that arrow that is pointing down.
Now it's pointing up. Does that stop sharing?
It should have, but then sometimes it might malfunction on the person who is seeing you, because now on my side I can't see your screen.
It's pointing up now.
We can still see it.
Yes, we can see it.
Right. If I click again on sharing, it's now pointing down.
I think you need to come to the main screen where you have the presentation and click there. There's one written stop sharing.
Main screen, eh?
Mahali hiyo presentation iko. There's a button for sharing. There's an option there for stop sharing. Yes.
Yes, now it's disappeared.
Right, you're done.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, Mr. Chair, if somebody is sharing the screen, you can just take control and then stop sharing on behalf.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see it.
One from Strathmore University.
Yes, you can see.
Okay. So, yes, thank you very much. So my name is Geoffrey Rono. My background is engineering, electrical engineering, and I've been now in the energy sector and solar sector for the last 10 years. In our center, in Strathmore Energy Research Center, we focus more on training, capacity building, and also implementation of projects. Of solar system. This presentation here is just to, as being the first meeting, I thought it would be good to have a common vision for what we want the committee to achieve. And these are our thoughts here on this presentation. So from the past few meetings we had, we came up with the goals and the objectives of the committee. For the new members, the deliverable here is the policy brief to the Minister of Energy and Petroleum on how to use solar power, basically to spur entrepreneurship. Because the idea we had was, it's not just good to have access to energy, but what is the energy good for if it can promote income creation? So we want to take a specific focus on entrepreneurship. And also, secondly, members felt that there is need to enhance local content in energy applications, solar energy applications, both for household and commercial use. So here we're talking more about human capacity, but also components. You know, what components can be locally manufactured and used. So those are the two main objectives we have as a committee. I wonder if there's anyone else who would like to complement my comments here. Maybe Dr. Toma or Waiter, because we've been together since the beginning.
I concur.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay. And in terms of the specific objectives, which are also listed in the terms of reference, the idea here is to promote use of solar power for own use, either in a domestic application or commercial application, and the sale of excess power, sale of excess solar energy to the grid. We all know that the 2019 Energy Act now allows this, and we want to detail more how this can be actually applied in real life. And then, as I said earlier, how can we expand local content in this in the solar energy value chain? How can we have more people? How can we have more components being of Kenyan? And the last one, which is often ignored, is the Juakali sector. If you look at the energy tariffs in Kenya, the Juakali sector, who are in the small commercial, are typically the highest tariff. Is the highest tariff actually amongst all the others, approaching 20 shillings or even more. But often they can't afford to invest in solar power because they're informal, they don't know how to use it, and also the nature of their business are that they're here today, they're not there tomorrow. So it's a very special segment which will be interesting to look at and see how solar can be of use to them. So those are the specific objectives. I just have one or two slides with regard to the committee and how we could all work together, because teamwork is very important. If we all don't pull in the same direction, we wouldn't be able to achieve the objectives set out here. So in terms of membership, I think we have listed them here now. And if there is a, so Nairobi will now update it, as we have seen. Can they still part of us, Dr. Toma, or they not confirm?
Kenjen, we've not yet gotten a reply to our letter. However, between Kenjen and Nakosti, we have an MOU.
Okay.
So we'll be able to access Kenjen's information. Like, for example, they are coming up with a solar panel factory in Muranga. And any other generation currently happening or planned, we have access to that information. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Okay. And then from Kirdi, so Humphrey and Sarah. You're on the same team?
Yes, Chair. Normally from every institution, we usually like to have an alternate. So for example, Sarah is the one the institution gave, and Humphrey is the alternate. So like right now, Sarah is not present, but Humphrey is there because it is the institution. So, thank you, Chair.
Okay, noted. So I think all the institutions are here now. Is there anyone we have missed out? I don't think so.
Yes. The new catch, Dr. Amolo, from climate change.
I'll add on number B there with Dr. Whiter, and then yes, so we shall update this list accordingly.
And Ogacho.
Yes. So yes. So we have three people from you, actually more from UN, but so we shall update the list accordingly. So in terms of the housekeeping rules that because now we'll be working together, all of us, as Dr. Thomas said earlier, the quorum will always start the meeting once we have say 3 members, three institutions, right?
Correct, yes. 3 for institutions, we have quorum.
As long as we have majority. And then all decisions will be made by consensus. So if we need to take a position on a matter, I think the best thing will always be to try and create a consensus around the committee, and then that everyone agrees or at least consents to the position taken. And I think that should be okay. That should be possible because the issues are not very contentious. It's more of what approach to take. And the comment here is that since the roles are voluntary, sometimes when you're volunteering somewhere, it's often put as the last priority. But we would like to say here that maybe actually it's the other way around. Let us give it the time it deserves, and basically be more accountable to ourselves in this committee. And of course, timekeeping. I'm so happy today everyone was on time, and we'd like to encourage this to be keeping this meeting exactly from 10 to 11, exactly for 1 hour, so that we can achieve the objectives. Of course, at the end of the day, we shall be having deliverables, which will be to the minister, and it's important that they're of very high quality. So I think we will set up a situation where at least there's someone who prepares the documents, and there's someone who reviews. At least 1 or 2 people review the documents and give comments, so that we'll allow time for review and comment before finalization. So this we shall see in the work plan. And of course, the last one is teamwork. We pray and hope that we can all work as a team. In the photo there, you see it's a chain there, and there's one which is the weakest. And if we don't if we don't work as a team, then we may struggle to achieve our objectives. These are the housekeeping rules we would like to, from the start, always be aware that we can observe this and we will achieve our objectives. We would like to receive your comments on the plan, because now that we want to start the actual work of implementation, we would like to share with you that work plan and receive your comments. And once we're in agreement with the work plan, then it will be easier to know who is doing what and by when do you need to submit that piece of work. We believe that approach will allow all of us to work independently and only meet when we need to, but also being aware that your work fits in the work of someone else, and we're all aware of where things are going. So, but first of all, are there any questions with regard to my presentation here? Clarifications or comments or additions?
You could share that slide of representation again.
Yes.
Please. Yeah, just to clarify a point, So, so Engineer Eric, Engineer Duma is his alternate. Dr. Sebastian Waiter of Department of Physics, he's yet, I think he gave us his alternate. And then Dr. Amolo, she's in another directorate to do with climate change. So she's on her own. She's not an alternate to Dr. Waiter. Dr. Waiter will give us his alternate, and Dr. Amolo will also give us alternate. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Shall I update? Or is someone saying something?
Yes, I gave the alternate to Dr. Alex Ogacho, and he's in the meeting right now.
Oh, yes. Okay. We shall update that accordingly. And then, Dr. Amolo, would you wish to have an alternate?
Yes.
Let her breathe in, and then probably after this meeting or before the next meeting, we will get communication from university, the Climate Change Directorate.
Okay.
That's in order. Any other comment with regard to this list? I will take silence to mean we're all in concurrence with the list. We'll just update as per the discussions. So Patrick, I'll stop sharing my screen now, and if you could just pull up the work plan and take us through the work plan. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm trying to share my screen, but yes. I'm not able to share my screen. Okay. Let me see.
You need to open the document first.
Yes, I've opened it.
And then you go to share. When you go to share, the small screens will appear there. Then you select the document you want to share. Then you just click it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Are you able to see it?
Yeah, you're there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So to come up with a policy document, we drafted some of the deliverables we are supposed to come up with, accompanied by activities. So the first deliverable was benchmarking. We see because there are some other countries already who have similar policy and so on. So we benchmark, we know what they are doing. And on this one, we will focus so much on the proposed best practices in other countries. Then on this, we can look at the solar PV market segment at the local content. And key barriers in the adoptions, as Geoffrey said earlier. Then on the existing regulatory framework, and maybe things with this we'll have to focus more on the net metering that was approved by the Energy Act of 2019 and see how we can lobby now the government to enforce it, and how can we get the people in the households and the maybe small businesses like the Juakari sector to engage in solar. The other one is stakeholder consultations. Maybe we need to consult some people, maybe the people in the energy policy.
But,
or the,
sorry,
or
Patrick,
the, yes?
If you could kindly, maybe we could allow comments and discussions on the benchmarking side before we could proceed to the next one. If there are any comments or additions or clarification from any of the members.
I was of the opinion that we can go through the work plan.
Okay.
Because we might ask questions that are actually covered down there.
Exactly.
So we can just go through
Okay.
it, and we can save our questions for later.
True.
Okay.
Unless someone has an interjection, then maybe they can be allowed if someone has an interjection.
Okay, now we go to the next deliverable, that is stakeholder consultations. For this one, we will agree on whether which method are we going to use to consult maybe the expert in the sector. And with this, we'll have to do like stakeholder mapping, maybe people to be engaged. And this one will consult the government, policymakers, both national and county government, private sectors, the NGOs who are engaged in energy sector, entrepreneurs, then academia and independent research institutions. The other deliverable after the consultations will have to come up with a draft policy brief or report. We will agree on whatever we are going to come up. And with this, we'll have to compile findings from Dexter or from the benchmarking and stakeholder consultations. The other deliverable that we'll agree is about stakeholder validation workshops, whether it's something we'll agree whether we'll have to conduct it or not. And for this, we have things like booking venue, purchase of workshop stationery, the preceding findings in the draft report. Then from there, we'll deliberate and come up with precise policy recommendations. Then the final one is coming up now with the final document. And the final document, the activities will include incorporating inputs and comments from the workshop and coming up with a final draft. Then now from there, we'll publish our report. So in terms of like the people to be the institutions, we will agree. In the previous ones, I did not include NUPEA. So we will have to agree depending on what people think they are capable of doing. On budget, we will agree on timelines. Yeah. So maybe Chair can take over again.
Thank you, Patrick. Good work. So I think basically what we're saying is that we see four key activities between now and the end of the project, and we see 6 months as the realistic timeline. We would like to very much hear your comments, thoughts, so that we can improve it document, and once it's agreeable to all of us, we'll just circulate it. I think in terms of institutions, the first one is the lead of that activity, and one are supporting. But these are suggestions. We're happy to hear comments from members also. And also on the budget, it's just a number over there. We'll discuss and see what the budget for these activities, or actually we are working on a very low budget. So we're also happy to discuss these things and then finalize the document. So the purpose of the discussion is so that we can all finalize this document, agree on it, and circulate it so that we can start the work. So we'll open the floor now for comments and feedback. I think if you have any comments, just feel free to unmute your microphone and speak up. I'm not sure we need to raise your hand or anything. We just speak up directly.
Okay, I think I'll go first. I mean, you said it. It's glaring that NUPE is not. I mean, it has no role in any of the activities listed there, and we needed that addressed. So maybe you can think of, you can go through the whole table and see where NUPE's input might be important. Thank you.
Chair.
Yes.
Yeah. When we started this, the very first virtual meeting, when we had the director in charge of, director from NUPEA and also director from Kengen, you remember very clearly I explained that us in Akosti, our role is advisory, but the colleagues from Energy, is the Ministry of Energy, that's where policy is done. And right now, as we are talking, 2019, the new Energy Act which came into being, it created NUPEA. And this Energy Act, it gave NUPEA two mandates. One of them is to do research on issues energy. And this energy can be solar, can be wind, can be biogas, can be nuclear, coal, gas. And I think since Engineer Duma is here, we can reconfirm that role, because eventually it is an entity like NUPEA, for example, which has the mandate to do to ensure that the Ministry of Energy receives this policy, and it's again the entity like NUPEA, which is to promote, for example, Kengen to continue its activity of what they are planning to generate electricity, not only from hydro, geothermal, wind, but also other sources, including solar. So, Engineer Duma, you can clarify if what I'm saying is in tandem with your man. Thank you.
NUPE is now responsible for energy sector research and development, including Patrick, yeah, can mute your mic.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise.
Please.
Please.
Thank you. So say, whatever Dr. Otoma said is true. We are now responsible for energy sector research and development, and it goes even to the oil industry in terms of research and development. And we're also responsible for the sectoral capacity building. And we've already started. We are developing a research institute. We've started with land acquisition. We're in the process of land acquisition, where we're going to do we're going to develop premises where most of the research will be undertaken. So yeah, whatever Dr. Otoma said is true. And with that in mind, we can now maybe see how we can incorporate NUPEA in the work plan.
And then, Chair, just to add again, after confirmation from NUPEA, if I look at the budget you given here, the associated budget in Kenya shillings, it's extremely modest in government circles. And coming from university and having related with university, I think I understand where you are coming from. And this, I'm not afraid for it being recorded. I had a privilege of working in the Ministry of Energy 3 years out of my 30 plus years in civil service. What I've seen is Ministry of Energy has money. It is liquid. Unlike, for example, education, where I am now, education has professors. I usually have this terrible joke. Education has brains, but no money, while Ministry of Energy has money, but no brains. And I'm not afraid of being quoted because I have the sums. Ministry of Energy, for example, KenGen, generates electricity from geothermal, hydro, and so forth. It sells that electricity to Kenya Power. It makes money. KenGen has never made a loss since it was incorporated. Kenya Power distributes this electricity to all of us, sells it, it makes money. Kenya Power has never made a loss. Kenya Pipeline, now this is oil. They take oil from Mombasa, that is petroleum products, and take them to wherever they are needed. They've never registered a loss. So the Ministry of Energy, unlike the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Education, the teachers are waiting to be paid. Professors, lecturers are waiting to be paid. Schools are waiting for infrastructure development money. So everybody in Ministry of Education looks up at the ministry for cash. But in Ministry of Energy, none of its parastatals looks up to it for money except NUPEA maybe. So this budget, I would like to bring NUPEA in so that they state how these monies can be modified. And as in NACOSTI, we are able to relate with all government entities, be it Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Health, you name it. So long as it's a government entity, we have a through pass. And we can negotiate this budget with Ministry of Energy, by extension, NUPEA and KenGen, on how to chip in. Thank you. And NUPEA, please explain if I'm not saying what happens.
Thank you, David. Yeah, the ministry might be having money, but NUPEA might not be having that kind of money. So I will not respond to that immediately, but I will consult and definitely get back to you in the next meeting on the budgetary issues, what NUPEA can do. I don't want to speak right now. I do not have power over money, but I'll definitely get back to you after consultations.
Okay, thank you, NUPEA. And David, well said there. Coming out of Strathmore, we take a lean approach often. So we are happy also to revise this. We just wanted to be realistic in terms of what numbers would work. Of course, we can beef them up, and maybe we could, if we could agree on these activities, then we could also look at what numbers are actually reasonable for the corresponding activities. And also another comment about NUPEA, with an oversight on our side, we will definitely put you as one of the lead in the activities here. And also, if you already have an idea of where you feel strong, please let us know, and then you can take the lead in that one.
Yes, kindly share this work plan so that we can just look at it in detail. Definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Shall we go around to the other institutions? Maybe we start from academic institutions, University of Nairobi. If you have any comments.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe you can make some brief comment, and the presentation is gone. I don't know where it is gone.
I'm trying to get it again.
Okay.
Yes,
so
yes.
as your Lord, maybe I can just make a comment, and I think I agree with David what Dr. is saying about the budget aspect. Although I'm not privy to the details of how the figures were arrived at, but I think there's need to look at the activities ahead of us and see how they match with the allocated budget, so that we don't have activities hanging behind because of lack of finances or something like that. I think there's need to look at in details the activities involved, so that we have a marrying budget line for that particular activity. Having said that, I think on the benchmarking, I think it looks like a good guide to me. It catches the three institutions. Can take the lead in that. I'm looking at the stakeholders consultations. I think, can you scroll up, please, Patrick? You can scroll up.
Patrick, are you able to scroll it up?
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can see the details below there. Okay. Anyway, so so I think generally it's a good guide. Yes. Yeah. Good. Thank you. And stakeholders consultation. I think that's also not bad. I think it's a good starting point. There's one on page, the one below. Just go down. Just go down, please. The one on the stakeholders. Accreditation. Down. The next page. Yeah. Number 4. That is stakeholder validation workshop. I think this is one area where I thought, although this could be the leading institution that will take that, I think this is an area where we need wide involvement of other stakeholders in the whole thing, so that we have a wider representation within the team. And actually, every team should be involved in this, and outside also key stakeholders who can come there and give us input in what we have already developed. I think this is very critical, so that we can achieve that. The next thing is about the timeline. I think we are trying to work within the 6 months that we have up to December. And I want to believe that the timelines look tight, but I feel we can be able to make it if we are really focused on this. Thank you, Chair, for now.
Chair, just a little clarification on timelines. If you look at your letters of appointment to this advisory research committee, it runs from April to next year, April. So this advisory committee has a lifespan of 1 year, starting from April. Thank you.
And through Chair, now I can now comment on that now about the timeline. I think we can look at the various timelines here and see how we can be able to accommodate, probably longer for the areas that are more intensive or need more time, so that we also do a better job, and ensuring that actually by April next year, as the carrier said, I think we have delivered on the project. Thank you.
Okay. Can I add something?
Yes, please,
Okay.
add, Patrick.
Yes, I'm saying when I was making this, from the terms of reference, the timeline was between April to December this year. So I did not see the one for up to 2021.
Chair.
Yes, I think the updated one is until 2021. So
you have your letter, eh? And also Dr. Mo, the latest catch. She has a letter.
Okay.
And everybody in between can confirm what the appointment letter says.
Yeah. Then we can restructure we can change the timelines.
I think the comments I'm hearing is let's expand the timeline, and let's detail more the activities, so that we can do a robust job, which is very much in order. Anyone else who wants to add, Dr. Amolo, before we go to our colleagues from the.
Thank you, Chair. This is a great work plan, and in our view, it aligns very well with the work that we're doing in our research. We'd be happy to get involved in all the areas, but I would say that our strength lies in the first part of working. Sorry, there's a lot of background noise.
Can you please mute? I think it's your computer.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Please
better.
proceed, Dr. Mo. Yes.
Thank you. I was saying that our strength would lie mostly in the first part, which is the benchmarking, because we already are conducting systematic literature review on energy issues, and energy policy is a strong suit of our work currently. For example, Paris is looking at energy policy in Africa, and therefore she's looking at documents from 46 sub-Saharan countries. And then Krista and Douglas are looking at energy innovation and technology. So we already have a lot of material, and we would be happy to share it. And in this regard, we're already funded by the NRF South Africa and a British Council. So we'd be happy to share what we already have with this team, because this is work we've been doing. In terms of stakeholder consultation, we also have a strength in this regard, because we developed a policy brief last year that was published by the University of Nairobi, and that's what got Dr. Otoma's attention. So I would say we are coming in as a strong team, and we are happy to assist wherever we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mono. Your comments are well noted, and we are very happy that you bring in your team in the relevant experience. So we have taken note of that, and we will restructure and also add you in there. It looks like we're running out of time. We have 6 minutes. We had said we'll try and be very sharp on time. So
so on way forward,
how do you feel about this document?
Chair, on way forward. Chair, you are there?
I think we lost the chair.
We have Patrick. Patrick is also chair. Chair, Patrick.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so I was suggesting on way forward,
Yes.
Using the work plan,
Yes.
we put both NUPEA and and Kengen in the first deliverable, that is the benchmarking. We put them on the stakeholder consultation, put them on the draft policy brief / report, we put them on the stakeholder validation workshop, and we also put them on the final policy brief / report. That is both NUPEA and Kengen.
Okay.
Thank you. Maybe NUPEA may want to comment on that.
I concur.
Okay, that is well noted.
Yes.
Yeah. And I can add something on the issue of budget. What we need to know, like maybe from each institutions, how many people will be involved. That will help us, will guide us on coming up with a better budget. Hello.
Can we develop the budget once we've settled on the scope of activities?
Okay.
Yes, because we might try to fit the activities to the budget, but it's wise to maybe fit the budget to the activities that we have lined up for each deliverable.
Okay.
Chair, I see some changes in the benchmarking, yeah?
Yes, we will start changes after
Sorry?
the meeting. I'm saying after the meeting, we will include all the changes that was agreed today.
Oh, my concern is number 2, because University of Nairobi, there are 2 teams involved.
Yeah,
so when you put,
okay.
Yeah, when you put University of Nairobi Dr. Molo, then it means the other team is not involved. Is that so?
No, it's everyone is involved. I'll because there are 2 teams in the puzzle. There's the one led by the one led by Dr. Amol, and there is now the initial one by Waita and the other team. Yes. Okay, we will discuss it well. Hello.
Go on, Pat.
I got dropped off, but now I'm back. Sorry.
Yes.
No, I can hear you.
Chair, hello. Are we still talking about the work plan? Okay, I have a suggestion. In my experience of working with very large teams, I always find that it's beneficial to have leads for different activities, or even break up some of the activities into work tasks. That way, everybody knows what their expected outputs are. Otherwise, if we say that we will all do everything, which I see is going to happen in each deliverable, we have all the institutions in each deliverable but no leads, then it's going to be very slow, because it's not going to be clear who's leading what. Would that be useful?
Yes, thank you very much. That's a very good point. We will definitely improve this document to ensure that every activity is on a lead.
Chair, just to build on what Dr. Molo has said, for example, this first one, benchmarking, we need to have a lead institution. Much as we have those 4 already listed there, we could have who's the leader there. When you come to stakeholder consultation, the same story, the lead one, the one who will be giving updates. The draft policy brief, again, that's how I got it, but she can correct me if I got it otherwise.
No, that's exactly what I meant. And within that lead institution, you also have a clear point person. You know, this is the person responsible for this work. And in that regard, the whole deliverable can even be broken down further, so that one person is not overwhelmed with the whole process. Thank you.
Chair, can I comment on that? And I think that's a good idea. Maybe I would propose that in the setup or structure that we are defining, that in each of the areas we have, in each of the deliverables, we have a lead team. Then the members or institutions involved in that lead team can now have a separate catch-up and see which team or which institution will be able to do what part of the activities. And that way it will be well coordinated, as Dr. Yamon was saying.
Okay, I hear the comments. Thank you very much. And how do we propose to allocate this? Shall we, as Strathmore, take a pick, or do people want to volunteer? I think Dr. Amolo had clearly said that, for example, on the first one, her team is very strong on that, and she would be willing to take the lead. Are there any other volunteers who would be willing to volunteer? I think if people can volunteer, it would be much easier than trying to allocate from the other way around.
Yes, I suggest, I think for the benchmarking, I think Dr. Mola and team can take lead because they're already very much in this thing. And then Curity, the other branch of the University of Nairobi and the Strathmore University, now we'll work with Dr. Molo and see which areas now, within consultation with the Dr. Molo, see which areas we can be able to take up in the activities that are involved in the benchmarking. My suggestion.
Thank you. Well noted. And for the others, for the stakeholder consultations and the 3 and 4 and 5, are there any institutions willing to take lead at this point, or do we suggest? Would Nupea be willing to undertake a stakeholder consultation, the lead there, given the fact that they have this mandate now?
Chair, out of these 3 institutions here, do you have any which has quite a step or some advantage in developing the information interview guide or questionnaire? Do we have any of them which is quite well versed with that, which it can take the lead? Probably that would be a good starting point.
Sure.
Chair, I was of the opinion that we first look at the whole document in totality. Yeah. Once you've shared, we can even get back to you tomorrow with our proposals, so that we can choose the best fit. That's a request.
That sounds good.
Yes, we can get back to you with the proposal on where we think who fits best in terms of leadership.
Okay.
But I don't want to speak right
Let's
now.
do that in the interest of time also.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Let's do that in the interest of time, and let's aim to finalize by Friday. That's what. Does that sound good?
Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, if we are to take Nupea's suggestion that they'll come back to us like before the end of the week, it's possible we have another meeting then where we go through just this work plan, and in that meeting we assign roles which we've all agreed to and give each other timelines. Thank you.
I think let's do it like that. Shall we, so let's do it like this. Let's circulate this after the meeting and then receive comments by Friday. And then once we have the comments, we can compile the comments Monday and Tuesday, and then we could possibly have a follow-up call next week Wednesday again. Are we in agreement?
You are suggesting we have another meeting this time next week, but this one will just be on giving each other roles on this work plan.
Yes, yes.
Is it acceptable to everyone in the meeting room?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
I'm okay.
Yes, that's
okay.
Yes, I'm in agreement also.
Thank you. That sounds like we're in concurrence. So
then I will mail this to everybody because I had shared it on the Microsoft Teams, but I'll email it again to every one of us. I'll do it right away.
Thank you. And Dr. Otoma, understand there is no AOB in Acoustic, so we shall end the meeting in that note unless there is a burning issue.
That's true, engineer. We don't normally have any AOB. And actually what we've discussed now is the way forward. However, if anybody wishes to stay on, because Nacosti, we are licensed on these teams 24/7. So if you want to fall out, this is military language. You can fall out. That is, you can leave the meeting. But if others want to continue talking, you are free. What I will do, I will stop recording when the chair says the meeting is over. I'll stop recording. But you can continue any catch up among yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. So in the interest of time, thank you everyone for participating in this meeting. It's been quite useful. We made one or two steps forward. And we look forward to hearing back from you on email. And then again speaking next week Wednesday, briefly, just to make sure we're on the same page and start the actual work of the committee. So on that note, I would like to say that the meeting has come to an end. The formal part of the meeting come to an end. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you. So I'll stop recording now. I've stopped recording.
It's okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have to leave for another meeting. Asante.
Okay, Karim.
Guys.
Hello, Dr. Otoma, I have a question.
Yeah, you are welcome.
Yes, the question is about the documents you were sharing on the team, which we were discussing earlier. We don't have access to those documents, so maybe you could just share them on email as well, together with the work plan.
That is Dr. Amolo speaking.
Yes, that's me. Yes.
Yes.
I'm
actually, I'll share it to everybody who was in the meeting. I'll do that right away. That one is not difficult. And just to learn from Douglas, you said there's a way I can allow you guys to access the Teams files.
Yes, there's a way.
Yeah, so I can see the 3 dots. So when I pick on those 3 dots, I see show device settings, show meeting notes, enter full screen, show background, turn on live caption, keyboard, recording, end meeting, turn off incoming. That's what I see.